So we're obviously here today to talk about a number of different things, but I think it would be really important to start off by telling people what actually happened to you. So in your own time, if you can just tell us what happened.
At 16, I met Colin. At 17, I got engaged. I got married to him a week after I was 18. In those days, I didn't realise what grooming was, because you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have, the television and stuff like that. After we were married, the beatings got worse and the controlling got worse. I wasn't allowed to answer the telephone. My mum was never allowed around the house. One of the beatings that I really got was when I was 12 weeks pregnant. I got beaten very, very badly with steel toe cap boots, trying to kick me in the stomach and everything, ripped my clothes off. And he actually did go down to my mum's house and smash their window. And then I managed to run out the house, and I rang my mum and said, no, you have to pick me up. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was down at the doctor's surgery, seeing if the baby was all right. As it was, the baby was all right. I had Claire. And then she was rushed to Great Ormond Street Hospital, and she died at 10 days old. They cleaned her all up, put her in a bed and gave her a little yellow flower to hold. And then the nurse came in and said, right, you can go and see her to say goodbye. And I was told, no, we're not going in. No, you won't leave her, you'll start crying again. No, we had to leave the hospital, and all I had was a tiny little Polaroid photograph of her. And he still managed to keep that. I never have got that back. But in those days, right, he was my husband, and he was allowed to do what he wanted to me. There was no law against your husband. I had Chloe, and then Colin and I had, Chloe was 1 year old. Colin and I had split up, and I'd managed to leave and get away. And one day he asked me and said, I want to meet up with you at the pub at Greystones, at the pub, and I want to talk about Chloe. And then I said, I need to go home now, I'm going home. And he said, I'll drive you. And I said, no, it's fine, it's okay. I'll walk. I just didn't want to no. And he went, no, I'll drive you, right? And he started to get angry, and I knew what was going to be coming. So stupidly, I got in the car. And instead of turning left to go down to my mum's, he turned right and sped off like a bat out of hell, all round the country roads. And he was driving and took us to this clearing. That's where I was raped, because I knew I had to do what he told me to do. And the only way I could think about getting out of it was by saying, I need to go to the toilet. I said, well, there's a pub up the road, can we just go up there so I can go to the toilet? And so we pulled in, and then I said to him, I need to ring my mum. My mum's got Chloe. I said, she's going to be wondering where I am. And this was my trying to get out, trying to get contact with people. So he let me ring my mum, but he was standing in the phone box right beside me listening in. And he said, tell your mum we've got back together. So my mum's on the phone, and I said, Mum, I've got back together with Colin. All she could do was go, oh no, Janet, what you doing? And she wasn't even thinking, and she still to this day cannot remember me saying, help. Yeah. And that's when he shut the phone down. We went into the pub. So I made the move to go to the bar, and I stood at the bar and I went, please phone the police, please phone the police. And the barman went, there's a phone box over the road. And then at that time Colin came straight in going, what's going on? nothing's going on. And I said, I need to go to the toilet. And he went, on you go. He said, it's fine. He said, I've checked all the toilets. The only door out here is there. There's no way you can get out of the toilets. He said, so on you go, right? So my only way of escape was, as I got around to the side of the bar, the toilets were down the corridor there. I went on my hands and knees and I crawled behind the barman, behind the bar, stood up and ran. I think I ran through a kitchen, ran out a back door, and there was a car there. Tried the door handles and it opened. Got in the car, slammed everything down and hid in the back. Then all I heard was the screeching of a car on gravel, and then this guy saying to me, he's gone. And that was it, and I had to keep it to myself. I've already been to the doctors about beatings, everything, so I just had a bath, and it was the next day I was walking up the road and somebody said, Leanne's missing. And Leanne's mum and dad were really good friends of ours, and we used to go for Sunday dinner and everything, and I used to help her with the horses and everything. And they said, Colin is the last person to be seen with her. And I went, oh no, and I just knew. I said, if it was me, I said, she'd still be alive. It should have been me, so I've lived with that guilt for all these years. So I gave statements and everything to the police, and was told, sorry, we can't do anything about it, because he's your husband. And then I woke up on my 21st birthday and put the telly on, and there was him being taken into Huntingdon Old Court under a blanket and everything. So that was my 21st birthday. 2018 he got out on parole, didn't he? And once again I told my story to this lovely police lady and said, yeah, he shouldn't be out. He's going to do it to somebody else. He did it to me. Look what he did to Leanne. And she said, what do you mean he did it to you? And I said, well, I gave all my statements and everything. And that's when I said, but nothing can be done because he was my husband. And she said, no, Janet, something can be done. The law's changed, something can be done. And that's when we started to do this. And it was so hard, but you were totally by my side, and at least once a week you would say to me, Janet, we can stop this, and I went, no. The CPS, we charged him with rape, kidnap, and 3 charges of ABH. Yeah, so rape, kidnap, and 3 charges of ABH, and he was charged with that. And I think he was absolutely shocked because the evidence laid out in front of him, there's just no way he could say not guilty. I still to this day wish I could have faced him face to face, because that's what I wanted, face to face. And to actually say back to him maybe what he actually said to me one time, paybacks are a bitch, Janet. And I really wanted to say that to him, paybacks are a bitch, Colin. But I knew I wasn't allowed to in court. I wouldn't have done it. But that in my heart of hearts is what I wanted to say. But I won. And I got counselling. That helped so much. And I just want to say to people out there, if there's any women or men, because men are abused as well, right? If you were raped, beaten, abused in any way, and you managed to go to your doctors and your doctors wrote it down, that's all you need. That's all you need. Or you managed to, the police came to your house, it will be recorded. It will be recorded in archives somewhere. I'm not a strong person, but this has given me strength, and this is why I want to do this, because I want to help other people. I want them to pick up the phone, right? Or if they can't pick up the phone, just go to the doctor or go to somebody at work. Just talk to somebody. My abuse was verbal, my abuse was taking all my rights away. I wasn't allowed to do anything, all my rights were taken away. All I ever used to say was, sorry, 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 because I always felt I had to apologise for myself. I don't have to say sorry to anybody. I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a thing. I'd do it all over again, knowing how difficult it was, knowing how hard it was. There are refuges out there, there are safe houses where nobody knows where they are. They will. I know it means breaking away from your family, but eventually, you know, it's the hardest thing to do, but it's the best. I'm moving forward now, and that's what I want to help people move forward like I've moved forward. I really want to encourage anybody who's been in the same situation as me to go to the police, and the police are saying they are going to listen and they're going to do everything in their power to do something about it. But it does take a long time, but they keep you in the loop, phone calls, everything. But please do go and report it, because this has to stop.